Hey, Video G here with another video about Tales of Zestiria, and as you just saw, just watch me get the Platinum trophy for Tales of Zestiria. So I'm gonna make an extended video because there's some other things I wanted to talk about concerning the game and all the trophies and everything to do with the game. So I'm just gonna go through the trophies, and if anyone's having trouble with them, because I had very little trouble with a lot of them that I thought I would have trouble with. So the first one is Master of Zestiria. Um, finally, Dawn of the Shepherd. That's story related. Youth is story related. Trials Overcome is story related. All Hints Here is story related. Dusk of the Shepherd is for completing the game. Now we got into the real kind of trophies. In Shreds and Tatters. That's for completing the Ouroboros at Falcon Hillside. All of these trophies for beating the enemies at either hard mode in the first playthrough or any difficulty on the second playthrough without items and without retries. I'd leave them all to the second playthrough. There's no point in torturing yourselves trying to get these in the first playthrough. It's just so much easier in the second. You're going to be doing a second anyway because you're just going to be giving yourself loads of trouble trying to do it on most of these in the first playthrough, especially when it comes to trying to get stacks and drops and stuff. So Super Collision Course, that I think is for fighting the general that turns into a lion, or kind of a tiger guy out in the battlefield. Fire Trial boss, that's the Earth Trial boss. Water Trial boss. Wind Trial boss. All the trial bosses without items on the second playthrough. That's for beating the dragon. This is where it gets actually hard. Killing the dragon on your first playthrough on hard, and killing Eisen to get when or Edna's brother on the first playthrough on hard with no items would be next to impossible. If anyone's got that, comment below because it's fair juice to you. But second playthrough really easy, couple of seconds is all it takes because of the double damage, because of the higher level you're going to be, because of all the double and triple skills, stacks and bonuses you're going to have. A non-Pacific Tale, that's for beating the cameo battle with Jade and Sophie. You just have to beat them, but you'll probably be playing them on normal because of the other trophy associated with that. Life in Moderation. Now, this is where I want to get to. On the first playthrough, I just played it on normal, completed the game. That was fine. I got my Dusk Golden Trophy or whatever it is. But at the end of the second playthrough, I was going to get this mod because I need to be on at least the second playthrough or fight on moderate on the first playthrough. I said I'd put on hard so I could get that and a Life of Struggle. I thought I'd try it, and I passed it so easily that I thought, wow. So I got both of these at the same time. I was absolutely surprised. So I said, oh, I'll put on intense and I'll try fighting. But I said, wait, no, I won't even bother. So I just went and got the Lord Landon Hexadile, and I set a load of things up because I knew his level would be higher. Though those boons that let the enemy do 20% less damage to you, 20% more damage to him, all that stuff. So I set on Chaos, and I won first go. And it was so simple. I even put up some Twitter pics of it getting at the time. So my advice to all these trophies is, on the end of your second playthrough, put on Chaos and try it, because you'll be probably pleasantly surprised that he's so easy you'll walk it. Especially if you have just one. All you need is one stack 16 thing on Sori, and you can infinite combo pretty much, and you're just going to be smashing him with whatever Artemization you have, and you're just pressing L1 and he's dead. He never even killed me on Chaos, not once. He didn't even kill Rose, and so she's stupid on the AI. So yeah, my biggest advice on getting these is try it first. Don't go off making loads of dragon plus damage or fire plus damage equipment like some people are saying. I didn't really have any, if at all, so they're so easy, really easy. Easier than I ever thought. I remember fighting the last boss on Chaos in Tales of Graces, and I was obliterated about 1,000 times before I ever got that trophy, so no ordinary customer. That's just for getting the shop level to max. That's really, really self-explanatory and easy. You'll probably, while you're maxing out the Lords of the Land, you'll have the one in Logrin maxed out, no problem. 36 challenges, that's for getting all the anomalous orbs from that raise your HP and so on, from the Hellions that will be roaming around, the Giganto type guys. It's pretty self-explanatory. You'll find them pretty easily. There's only a couple that are kind of not hidden, but sort of kind of hidden. The first one is there's a kind of a skeleton guy in the first forest. When you go back through the forest, to go back to your first town near the end of the game. So don't miss that. I missed it the first time. I thought it was just a random skeleton enemy. I just ran by him, said, "Get my way," like. But then when I clicked with me when I said, "There's no other skeleton type enemies appearing here," so he's got to be a kind of a Hellion because he looks kind of normal. Oh, and after you beat, I think, either Edna's brother or the Tiamat on the battlefield, an angel will appear in the very, very, very first room you appear in. At the start of the game, where Micleo and Sora fall. It's a hard battle, but that appears there. And each trial, the fire trial is where you fight a Norman boss, but the wind, earth, and water trial each have a boss in their boss. Each have a Hellion kind of boss in their boss room where you fought the first time you went there. So you have to go back there and do them. And obviously there's 4 in the last place in the game, and there's 2 just before you get to it. I think they drop those orbs as well. There's a dragon newt on the battlefield that's close to a kind of a bonus dungeon after you beat the Tiamat that you could never have accessed before. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory, but there's a couple of them like that. 100 herbs, pick 100 herbs, you're going to get that no problem. Checking in, stay at an inn 10 times, no problem. Show of talent, this is for people who you've mastered a talent enough, not maxed out talent, but mastered enough that you can teach it to other people in the inn. What you need to do is stay at the inns, different inns, and eventually Sora and Rose and all that, they'll start learning the talents of the other characters and each vice versa. So like, I think Sora learns the item ordering because he asks Rose about it in a skit. So that's kind of how it works. And Micleo will ask Dezel or Zavid about wind step and skill and says it's cool or whatever, and then he go, I'll teach you that. So that's how that happens. The monolith ones, just make sure you don't miss any, because there's no real way of knowing which ones you missed unless you go back through all the system book, which is so annoying. But I'll just point out one thing, that the one I missed, and I had to go back and look at all of them again, was in Western Gorge, just near the merchant. There's one just behind him, down the slope bit, behind a rock, that I missed the first time. So that's the one I got, and there's one in Hexen Isle, and you obviously can't get this trophy till you beat the game. So when you get that, you have to go to the save point, do a skit, and trophy pops. Normans, pretty self-explanatory, they're all over the place. If you just keep Norman for the win on, I didn't even use a guide, you just keep Norman for the win on Edna, and you'll find them all if you search out every nook and cranny. The only ones I had to go back and get was the one in the water trial, which I forgot on purpose because I didn't want to do it really. So I looked up a video on how to get to him. So somebody has a video up, so I just search that and try to get that Norman. And once you get all the Normans, you do a skit in the inn, I think in Lady Lake or anywhere, and you can, you get a chance to fight the Phoenix Norman in the Fire Temple in the boss room. And once you have that, that's all 50. But you get a trophy for the 40 Normans, so you don't have to collect them all, but just saying, you collect them all. That's for raising a Lord Land level 20, so if you don't know, look at my other video about gal farming, and you can max out Lord Land so quickly. Now, originally when I made that video about gal farming, it was the Japanese version. I knew very little about everything and so on and so forth. So I got a million gil or gal. I mean, sorry. But now if you have max out a Lord of the Land and get the gal blessing, the double gal, and you have double gal from the grade store, and you have the 30 drop bottles from the item capacity increase, you'll end up with, and the food as well, that increases gal. You'll end up with 12 million each golden mimic fight. Set it on simple to make the counter go down real fast for items, and you'll get 12 million a go. So, it takes a couple of runs of getting 12 million to max out all Lord Lands, but it's worth it for the grade shop. Boss of the G Union, I just got this randomly. I think that's just for making any group union bonus skill, which you'll get by just equipping normal things in the normal course of the game, so not to worry about. Elemental Mantra, is it? Marta? Okay. Oh, that's probably a reference to uh, Symphonia 2. That's for getting another type of, that's self-explanatory as well. Don't worry about that one because that will come in the course of the game by just equipping normal things. Stacking the deck is proof that you equipped items to activate a stack bonus. Again, the course of the game, you'll get that. Just change your equipment up every now and again. If not, you can go into your equipment, press R2, click on any skill and see can you match up to, and you'll get that no problem. Having a blast gauge of 9. I got this randomly. Of course, mastering titles makes your increase your BG. So each title, I think the max you can get out of a title is +2. Also, skills raise your BG. So I think every character, when they first get started out with BG in the storyline, they get 3, and each title can increase it to 4 or 2. So if you have 5 on one on Soray with your +2, and Mikleo has 4 from his +1 in his title, when you atomize, it counts as the maximum of 9. So you'll get it through the course of the game by just atomizing and maxing titles by fighting, of course. An act for stacks is proof that you create an item with equipment with the same skill in all 4 slots. I was worried about this one, but it's not really to worry about. All you need to do is get one of the unnamed equipment or one of the swords or weapons that you can equip. You can combine anything with, and you'll probably by the end of the game, first or second playthrough, you'll have tons of weapons or anything, and just fool around with it. Save your game, go to the shop, fuse everything, see can you get 4 on each one. I got one where I had Tempest on one slot or something, and I just played around until I could get on the 3 slots. So I had a Feldspar sword that had Tempest on the first slot and Mind on the 3rd slot that was blued out, and I was able to get it in a way that I had whatever random skill at the first slot blued out, and then I had 3. So I could have 3 Tempests on 2nd, 3rd, and 4th slot. So then when I combined the Feldspar sword with the Tempest on the first, I got a sword, an unnamed weapon with Tempest on 4 slots, and and then I got the trophy. But that also went towards my stack 16 because I had 4 in that. Then all I had to do was get loads of equipment with different Tempest kind of ones on it, so I could get a stack bonus to that, because that's one of the best skills, I think. Divine Intervention. This is proof that you equipped every skill for a certain element to achieve an E-Union 10 bonus skill. Now that's the one that goes horizontal across the screen, so you have to equip 10 skills that go all in a line across the screen. And again, try it out. Like, don't worry about it. Don't try manufacture it. That's what I think. I got it by randomly trying everything. So I go into the bonus skills. I go to the last skill, and I keep equipping them all the way back. See, could I make a line randomly? And I went through every character, and it was actually Zavid on the last line, the green line that I got it with. And once you have it, the skill pops. Just load back up your save, to get your skills back the way you had them. Sweet 16, that's for getting a 16 stack. That's probably one of the hardest things to do, but as I said earlier, when I was fiddling around with the unnamed weapons, I can get Tempest on the first 4 slots. That's a 4 stack. And I also unlocked the grade shop thing in the first playthrough that allows double and triple skills on their own to be a stack on their own. So I just went around half half grinding. I just set Tempest as a Norman to any area I was in, and just fought normal battles on Chaos as I went to any boss. And I had enough things then to activate that skill, and just with a small bit of thoughtful fusing. So I was able to get a ring with a couple of Tempests, earrings with a couple of Tempests, so on and so on. So like I was actually ended up with a stack 17 of Tempest, but 16 is the highest. Now if you get to the 16 stack, you also get the Eternity skill, which allows you to keep comboing as long as SC is available. Now on Mikleo, I'll show you after actually with all those on. The Blessing Bell, that's proof that you sanctified one piece of equipment. Just get any piece of equipment to +10 and go to Lord Land, sanctify it, and that's done. A double take, that's for getting a double skill drop from an enemy, which I got on the second playthrough on Chaos, just around the time I got Lila, so very early game. Very easy to get, especially if in the first playthrough you equip everything you needed to equip and your characters to cross over using the wish and transfer method, and everything else you have just offered to Lord Land because it's going to go to waste anyway, and you will increase the chance in the second playthrough of getting double equipment. Last stop on the fusion train, again just try it, just get one of the unnamed equipment and get as many swords or anything you can and just max them all out or fuse them all to a sword randomly. I actually just gathered up as much swords as I could. I was working on a Felsbar sword that was +22 or something at the time, and I just when I thought I had enough, I just counted the swords I had plus the 22 plus one, and I found out it was like 80 plus 89. So I just kept playing the game till I had another 10 odd swords, and then I saved my game, just combined everything until it was +99. Got the trophy reloaded. There's no point in going to get actual one to keep it, it's just that one time. Which is transferred, that's for getting equipment back. If you have unnamed or yellow equipment, any sanctified equipment on your weapon at the end of the game, you can get it back in the second playthrough when you fight your kind of team members in a shadow form near Lady Lake in this kind of mirror arena. It's played out to be much harder than it is, and I finished it near the start of the game really easily. So maybe I had crap equipment, but all the enemies only had 20 to 30,000 or 40,000. They're level 40. Switching the difficulty doesn't make them easier either. Making the grade, I got that randomly by fighting Simone alone with Soray. I just finished her with a Mystigar. I got 90 grade, but I was getting upwards of 2, 3, 4, even 7 and 800 grade when I was playing the second playthrough, so nothing to worry about. You're going to get that, no problem. That's the one for making all the snacks. That's one of the hardest ones. You're going to have to put a rubber band or something around your right analog stick facing up and push your right analog stick left and face it down on a couch or something and put a book on top of it. So Sori runs around in a circle just near the entrance, just inside the entrance of Pendrago. And while all people's snack related things or support talents are activated, and you'll eventually get it. Yeah, it takes a long time though, because only some of the foods can only be made by max level characters, which is the support talent is 35. So Mikleo can make all of them, but I wouldn't rely on that. I'd put snack making on everyone and just run around in circles, because it takes a long time. And that's as well as I had it on all the way through the second playthrough, most of about 30 hours of this first playthrough. I don't know if that crossed over, by the way, and I had it had to do like 5 hours of running around making with auto fire, so it takes a long time. You get that through the course of the game by just having Wind stepping on the Zell. Micromanager, easy way to get that is that's for fighting 100 battles with each character, but if you'll have it with Sori anyway, you'll have the 100 battles done no matter what by just normal gameplay. Switch to Rose. put Mikleo and Edna as your partners, put them both on manual, put Sori on auto and Rose on semi-auto, and fight 100 battles around. Not, a lot of people suggest Lady Lake, but there's not enough enemies. Around Maryland or around that Falkland hillside area, and just keep running around, fight 100 battles. Then, when 100 battles is done, switch Mikleo and Lila out for Edna and Zavid, and just make sure they're on manual. Do the same thing. Takes about 50 minutes. It's really simple. A lot of people say put it on low difficulty and go around Lady Lake, but put it on chaos and just keep fighting. I got loads of chain equipment, and I was able to make an 11 stack of chain for Mikleo so that he gets a 40% cast reduction. So, and then when you atomize with Sore, you get your all-powerful character pretty much. Chatterbox, that's for viewing skits. That's for viewing 235 skits exactly. And DLC skits, the free skits off the PSN store count, and unlocking skits in the Cat's Corner after you complete the game, bonus dungeon counts, and so on. So I was dangerously close to it. I was 228 or something. So I just bought a free skit pack off PSN. Well, not being bought, downloaded for free, and just played a few skits and it popped. So item collector is that's for getting about 310 odd items or something. So if you're playing the Alicia DLC, which you probably should have got by free by now, I think it's over now, but you will get, if you do the game, open every treasure chest, buy everything from the stores, and just do normal kind of fusion as you go, and you do all the Alicia DLC, open all the treasure chests and getting all the weapons there, and you go to Hex. They still didn't have it. I went to Hexen to get to open the treasure chest, but I talked to the Lord of the Land there, and he gave me a cat's map, the last map from the turtles, and it popped then. So yeah, I didn't even have to go opening treasure chests in the bonus dungeon, but I did anyway. But you know, that's nothing to worry about. You'll have it if you do everything. That's for beating 171, I think, enemies or something. Just make sure you kill one of every enemy in every area. That's all I can say. That's the one I just got. That's for opening the bookworm. That's for opening the library 50 times. I intentionally left that till the end so I could film the platinum and stuff. I like to do that. I don't know why, but I want to turn it into a wider discussion about all the sorts of things in the game. 8 Dates with Hate, that's just doing all the crucibles. By far the hardest crucible is Savid's crucible because it ties in with the trophy of beating the X dungeon and normal, so that you can't switch it to simple, and the enemies in there are all the same enemies from the X dungeon around Hexen Isle. So, and there all seems to be resistance against windy kind of attacks, so it can be quite hard. And I don't like using Savid anyway. I think he's the worst character solo with, you know. But after using up just loads of elixirs and stuff and doing about 50 mystic arts, I passed it, and that's really it. All the other crucibles are simple because you can set on simple and just rush through it. Sky's the limit. That's proof that you complete extra at difficulty level normal. That's pretty easy. Just make sure you quick save before every boss and never switch it to simple, not even for a second. And I'm not sure how it works if you can switch it in between battles or anything, but I wouldn't risk it, and I wouldn't fight any enemies either. I just put it on normal, equip a holy bottle, see how many enemies you can get away with disappearing, and when you get to the last levels they'll stop disappearing. And just quick save for every boss and beat every boss and you should be fine. Now that's for completing the boss. After you complete Hexen Isle, Heldorf powers up. And you have to beat him on hard, and when he's powered up he's harder on hard mode than he is on chaos and normal mode, so I was really worried about this one. But again, same as the other ones, I just gave it a try. I didn't even equip anything, I didn't even do any of that. A dragon plus 15%, I didn't do any of that fire plus 10%. I just went in, and the actual first form of Heldorf was absolutely nearly impossible. I nearly died about 100 times, But I did it on the first go, but it was a hard battle. I was battling for like 20 minutes. But the second form, the one that actually this trophy is for, was simple, really simple. Nobody even died, not even Rose again, and nobody had any. I'll show you myself now in a minute. Nobody really had anything that important. Coincidentally, I did actually equip the dragon plus 50% on Edna. I just went into the skills section and make sure I could equip as many as possible because I knew she was one of the weakest type of characters. And I think I started doing like 160,000 a hit, so the L1 trigger for the to end Edna's thing came up straight away, and I was like, oh no, why didn't I leave that to the end? But worked out really well because my Lila and Mikleo was really powerful. So it was just the wind one in between that I had trouble with, but I got there in the end. And yeah, really easy trophy, way easier than all the guides make out. This and the Chaos one and the rest of them. So the best advice I could give is to go just try it before you start grinding things because it's just a waste of time, really. You know, because what's the point in grinding out all these skills? Unless you're one of these completionist people, that's fine. But what's the point in grinding for hours to get Dragon plus 15% and all this stuff and stack 16s on all your characters when you can just do it like I did with one stack 16 basically. Now these trophies are for the Alicia DLC. You'll get that story in the story. You'll get that in the story. The dynamic duos for completing it with Alicia and Rose, the Crucible. The speedy duo, I had to go through it again for that. I could not do it on the first playthrough. I keep getting it. You have to complete the Crucible in under 2 minutes. I just could not do it. So I went back on the second playthrough with double damage and all that, and I got it in first go in 1 minute 24 seconds. So really easy. And 11 duos for completing the Crucible in 11 times. One time for the first time and 10 more times. So that's all the trophies in Tales Zestiria, pretty much explained. So that's it for Tales Zestiria for me. Anyway, I'm just going to go on about some other stuff. I'm just going to go into the records. I spent 96 hours playing the game, which is about 6 hours above average-ish. So I didn't do much grinding or anything, but that's fine. Total time battle 16 hours, that's not really important. Maybe types of skirt you want, even fight people.
How I got that, I had the unnamed sword with the 4 tempests, which took 35 fusions to get, really, you know. I had this with, this had Tempest, Tempest, and Tempest by 2. I just got that randomly by fighting in the cave. I can't remember the name of the cave, but it's the cave that you get the bonus, what do you call it? The bonus clothes for Sori that are in black. That cave up the north of the desert. So if you fight around there on Chaos, you'll get, and set Tempest as Lord of the Land, you'll get these earrings off the Axebeak type enemies. That'd be really easy to get and combine them up so that you get a couple of Tempests. Tempest is pretty easy to get in your own name's sword, so you can get the Felsbar sword as the only one that has Tempest in the first slot. So if you want to do the same as me, just fool around until you can get the 3 slots and get it on all 4 slots. A double would be nice, but you can't be picky. A Type 0 waistcoat. Now they drop, that has Tempest by 2, and Tempest again. You get 0, what are they actually called? 0 impact vests. You get them off the same place I was just talking about, off the birds, and in that place. I can't remember the name of that dungeon. Plated ring, again, they drop them as well, so that has 2 tempests. So you can pretty much do all that here
Fast and Furious shoes. That's a sanctified version of something or other that has two tempests on it. And because the doubles that I have, which I have three doubles, they count as two stacks on their own right, as well as adding two to it. So I ended up with the plus 16. And that lets you combo while SP is remaining. Now that's so important because, especially in the Chaos trophies and the Hard trophy and stuff. So if you can at least, you'll be doing it anyway for the trophy, you can at least get that. I don't know why I picked Tempest, by the way. It's just BG increases 10 hits landed. I could do more Mystic Arts and stuff. But Chain will probably be a better one to do it with if you're doing it. But coincidentally, I had an 11 stack on Miklo with Chain. That gives him a 40% casting reduction. And as well as that, if you equip, now I don't have it, I messed it up at one point, so, but I did have this equipped as well, the Decrepit Staff, which you get in the bonus dungeon, or you get in the last dungeon by fighting one of the 4 boss type enemies. That allows you to have 40% casting reduction as well, so he has 80% casting reduction. And when you combine with Soraya, so Soraya has a stack 16 which allows him to combo with SC remaining, combo infinitely, and Mikleo adds this chain so that SC use reduction for a combo plus 11%, so he's gaining back SC all the time, and he's killing the enemies. So what you could do with Mikleo is the best character in the game, and some of the best attacks in the game. All you have to do is Artemize, just do any attack, and then do Maelstrom. Now my Maelstrom is nearly maxed out because I use it all the time, and you can do like infinite Maelstroms in a row. I actually bet the duo battle with the cameo battle in 2 minutes or a minute and 20 seconds by using Maelstrom pretty much. I'd say 50 times in a row, and they just didn't even get to attack me. They just all died. So you do one attack and you just press X over and over and over and over until everything's dead. The times I used Maelstrom was 3,784. That will tell you how many times I used it. So, yeah, one of the killer attacks in the game. So he had a stack 16, Mikleo had a stack 11. Rose had basically nothing, just random assortment of things, nothing really particular. Rose or Lila, I tried to get. I didn't even have any firepower things equipped. Oh, okay. Oh, for Edna, this is what I did. I just put in Dragon plus 50, and I just tried to match up the skills like that. See as many as I can. 3. I eventually got 4. There's 4, and I started taking tens of thousands off the last boss on KS and on hard. So that was just something I added in. And Zavita's the easiest one to get the stack. I probably won't have the things to do it now, but this is what I do. You activate that skill, and just keep activating them backwards until you can get a line going that never breaks. So you equip that, and if the line is broken in any way, it won't work. So yeah, I'm not going to do it this time, but that's how I got it. I just kept randomly doing it like that. So that's it for the game, and I just want to say it's a good game. I played the Japanese version, as you can see from the other videos, and it was the first time I've ever imported anything, and I want to talk about that a bit. It was a surreal experience, really, because I played the game all the way through. I knew what happened in the story, but I didn't know why it happened. So that was kind of a funny kind of thing. So buying the game in English and playing it again, the English version, it was like playing a new game, because although I was kind of familiar with little bits, everything like all the skill stuff and all the other stuff, support talents, everything, that was all foreign, because in Japanese you can't really understand what's going on. You can just try to get through the game and stuff. So, and the story, even though you know like who the final boss is or where you go next or something, you don't actually know why you're going or so on. You know what I mean? It's so weird like that. So I really enjoyed importing a game and then playing it again. It felt like a new game. It didn't feel like it was boring or anything ever, because I wanted to see what my interpretation of the scenes were versus what really happened and what was really said. So I loved that. I loved that experience, and I'm gonna do it with Star Ocean 5 when it comes out in February. I'm gonna get the PS3 version, do the same thing, play it, try get through it, obsess over it, and make loads of videos about it, all of that stuff. And I'm just going to show you really quick, just before I end, how powerful. I'll just go here. I just want to show you how powerful having a stack 16 on Sore with a stack. Oh, why does he have a stack at 8? Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll just equip the decrepit staff just to get the casting ability back. Set your game on chaos. I'm just going to even use a dark bottle just to make sure. Just to make dark bottles make more enemies appear in battle, by the way. I just want to show you how powerful this combination is with Maelstrom. I'll fight the elephant guys. They're bigger. They're funnier to kill. Just So you can see you can use Maelstrom infinitely, really. So anything, nothing stands a chance, even if they're resistant to it. By the way, like the last boss on Chaos or in the hard mode powered up thing, all I did was do that, just Maelstrom, and they didn't stand a chance. They can't even attack back because they're too preoccupied being smashed by Maelstrom. So because of the way it's set up with the Tempest, and now unless you want to go, I've seen a video where a guy had a stack 15 or 16 there and a stack 15 or 16 here or whatever. And that's brilliant for like solo character, but if you can do it on between two characters, when you atomize, they're going to be combined anyway, and you're going to get such a boost. Just one or two more things I want to say. The story of the game was really weak, really. I was expecting a better story, but I don't know what's wrong with this stage writing their stories, but the game was fun. A couple of problems with the camera and all that, but I didn't find the game problematic ever, really. I liked the camera, the way it was kind of centered and stuff, and yeah, sometimes you get hit a wall, but it gets all out of focus. But I really think they failed at the post game content, really did. I think they shouldn't have brought it out on PS4 yet. They should have made lots of little changes to it and then brought it out. I would have this whole Rose Alicia deal. I don't know why they couldn't have just added Rose at the end. Or Alicia at the end. She does nothing anyway. Even like justify the DLC of Alicia by if you complete the DLC, you can get Alicia. You could even do a system where you wouldn't have to change the game really much, by having a system like Tales of Destiny had, where you had multiple characters, but you can only have certain characters with you. So you could go swap roles for Alicia whenever you wanted. Do you know what I mean? Uh, or you could have had a situation where Alicia, in this case, in the course of the story, dies and becomes a seraph, and you get her as a kind of a light seraph, and then when you beat Simone, you get her as a dark seraph. That would have been cool. So you would have had even more characters. I think there should have been. Yeah, you could add two more elements then, just everything to the game. Because like, I don't know if there's even a dark or light element really, but they could have added that in. That would be cool. Another more bonus dungeon. Something I want to bring up as well. Um, I'll just really quickly just go in here and show you in the trophies. Something that really got me. I think it's down the end actually. This backs up. The sky's the limit. This is a proof that you completed all extra dungeons at difficulty level normal or above. But further challenges await you in places you've been and places you have yet to be. Now, there's only one extra dungeon in the game basically, if you don't count the DLC. So why is there a trophy for completing all extra dungeons on normal difficulty when there's only one? So when that was written, I suppose that there was more things added. There's even a wall in this very desert. It's over here, and it's a squared off wall, and it has a castle wall at it that has nothing to do with over here. So was that another dungeon they're supposed to have? I don't know. So like, I think the game is rushed really, and the post game was botched. And I think you could have added Alicia as a character. I think you could have added Simone at the end of the game. She's kind of remorseful a bit, but she's kind of whatever evil and stuff. And she just lies in the ground alive at the door before the last place in the game, just lying on the ground for the rest of the game. Why couldn't you have her join the party and try fight against the Lord of Calamity? That would have been cool. Adding Alicia as a character, as a human, or have her become a seraph or something, that would have been cool. Like you could have had on a second playthrough, you could have had an option to pick between Zavid and Dezel. That would have been cool. Like Star Ocean did it in Star Ocean Last Hope, where you could pick between Phase or Aramat, and even like when you pick Phase, all the scenes of Aramat still persist. So you could have had Zavid in all the skits and all the scenes, but have Dezel as a character. I thought that would have been cool. Or you could have completely changed it, which would have it in a way that on the second playthrough or something, you could choose if Zavid comes in and sacrifices himself to try and kill year one. Or that would completely change the story and completely change everything and stuff. Because there's when I went to unlocking skits after the bonus dungeon, I found out that there's so many skits that have Zavid and Dezel in them, and it'd be two versions of every skit in the game, basically, where Zavid talks instead of Dezel talks, depending on when you've done different tasks in the game and stuff. So yeah, that's just it about everything. All the trophies, a little bit of help and stuff, but all the different bits of Tales of Zestiria that I might have had a problem with, or they could have added more stuff. So thanks for watching, and leave your comments below what you thought of the game, and subscribe, rate, all that. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Video G. Till next time.